There are stories that need to be told not because they are pleasant but because they are true warnings about what happens when ambition becomes greed and when power becomes poison. This is one of those stories. This is the story of a man I will call Hassan Osman. That is not his real name because his family still lives with the shame of what he became. But his story is real and it needs to be heard because somewhere right now there is a young man standing at the same crossroads Hassan once stood at, and maybe, just maybe, this story will help him choose differently. Hassan Osman was born in 1985 in a small village outside Casablanca, Morocco. He was the third of 7 children. His father Ahmed was a mechanic who fixed motorcycles and bicycles for pennies. His mother Fatima cleaned houses for wealthy families in the city. They lived in a 2-room house with a tin roof that leaked when it rained. There was no running water inside. The bathroom was an outhouse in the back. They ate bread and vegetables most days and meat maybe once a month if they were lucky. Hassan was a smart boy. His teachers said he had a gift for numbers and could calculate faster in his head than most people could with a calculator. He loved school and he dreamed of becoming an engineer and building bridges and roads. But when Hassan turned 14, his father got sick with tuberculosis and could not work anymore. The family had no money for medicine. They had no money for food. Hassan's mother was cleaning 3 houses a day and it still was not enough. One afternoon Hassan was walking home from school and he saw his little sister Amina crying on the doorstep. She was 8 years old. He asked her what was wrong and she said she was hungry and there was no food in the house. Hassan went inside and opened the cabinets and found nothing. He opened the small refrigerator they shared with 2 other families and found nothing. He looked at his little sister's face and something inside him broke. That night Hassan went to find his older cousin Karim, who everyone in the neighborhood knew was involved in selling hashish. Hassan asked Karim if there was a way he could make money quickly. Karim looked at him for a long time and then he said, "Little cousin, once you walk through this door you cannot walk back through it. Are you sure this is what you want?" Hassan thought about his sister's face and he said yes. Karim gave Hassan a small package and told him to deliver it to an address on the other side of the city. He told Hassan if he did this he would give him 200 dirhams, which was more money than Hassan's father made in a week when he was healthy. Hassan took the package and he made the delivery, and when he came back Karim handed him the money. Hassan went straight to the market and bought rice and chicken and vegetables and oil and bread. He went home and gave it all to his mother and told her he had gotten a job helping someone move furniture. His mother looked at him with eyes that said she knew he was lying, but she was too tired and too hungry to ask questions. She cooked the food and the family ate that night, and for the first time in months Hassan saw his little sister smile. That was the first step. That was the moment Hassan Osman chose a path that would eventually destroy everything he loved. For the next 2 years Hassan made deliveries for Karim. Small packages of hashish mostly, sometimes pills. He never asked what was in the packages because he did not want to know. He told himself he was just a delivery boy and that he was not really doing anything wrong because he was not using the drugs himself and he was not forcing anyone to buy them. He told himself he was helping his family survive. And he was. With the money Hassan brought home his father got medicine. His little sister went back to school. They moved to a better house with running water and electricity. His mother stopped cleaning houses and started selling vegetables at the market. But by the time Hassan turned 17 he was not just making deliveries anymore. Karim had taught him how the business worked, how to find suppliers, how to negotiate prices, how to spot undercover police, how to protect yourself. Karim told Hassan he had a talent for this work because he was smart and calm and people trusted him. Karim made Hassan his lieutenant and gave him control over a whole section of the city. Hassan was making more money at 17 than most men in Morocco made in a year. He bought his mother a new house. He paid for his younger brothers and sisters to go to private schools. He bought his father a small shop where he could work again fixing motorcycles without the physical strain that made him sick before. Everyone in Hassan's family was proud of him. They thought he was working for a successful import-export business. They had no idea where the money really came from. By the time Hassan turned 21, Karim was arrested in a police raid and sentenced to 15 years in prison. Before Karim went away, he told Hassan, "You are the smartest person I ever worked with. Take everything I built and make it bigger, but remember what I told you when you were 14. You cannot walk back through this door." Hassan became the boss of the whole operation. He had 30 people working for him. He controlled drug distribution in 4 neighborhoods. He was making money so fast he did not know what to do with it all. He bought expensive cars. He wore designer clothes. He lived in a penthouse apartment overlooking the ocean. He went to nightclubs where bottles of champagne cost more than his father used to make in a month. But Hassan was careful. He remembered what Karim taught him. Never use your own product, never trust anyone completely, never keep your money in one place, always have an exit plan. Hassan opened legitimate businesses to wash his money: a restaurant, a car wash, a clothing store. On paper, Hassan Osman was a successful young entrepreneur. Only a handful of people knew the truth. When Hassan was 23, he met a woman named Nadia. She was beautiful and intelligent, and she worked as a teacher at an elementary school. She knew nothing about Hassan's real business. She thought he was just a successful businessman. They fell in love, and within 6 months they were married. Hassan's mother cried at the wedding and told him she was so proud of the man he had become. 1 year later, Nadia gave birth to their daughter Yasmin. The moment Hassan held his baby girl in his arms, something shifted inside him. He looked at her tiny face and he thought about the choices he had made. He thought about the drugs he had sold and the lives he had probably destroyed. He thought about what would happen to this little girl if he went to prison or got killed. For the first time in almost 10 years, Hassan felt something he had not felt since he was 14 years old. He felt guilt. Hassan started thinking about getting out. He had saved enough money that his family would be set for life if he invested it properly. He started talking to a lawyer about how to legitimize all his businesses and phase out the drug operation. The lawyer told him it would take time, but it was possible. Hassan made a plan. He would spend 2 more years transitioning everything and then he would walk away clean. But the universe does not care about your plans, especially when those plans are built on 10 years of illegal activity. What Hassan did not know was that one of his closest associates, a man named Youssef who Hassan had known since childhood, had been arrested 3 months earlier on a separate charge. Youssef was facing 20 years in prison. The police offered him a deal: give them information on Hassan Osman and they would reduce his sentence to 3 years. Youssef took the deal. For 3 months the police built their case. They recorded phone calls, they followed Hassan's people, they tracked his money, they watched his every move, and Hassan had no idea because he trusted Youssef completely. On a Tuesday morning in June, when Hassan was having breakfast with his wife and 2-year-old daughter, 30 police officers surrounded his apartment building. They broke down his door with a battering ram. They dragged Hassan out of his home in handcuffs while his daughter screamed and his wife sobbed. Hassan was charged with drug trafficking, money laundering, organized crime, and 17 other charges. The evidence against him was overwhelming because Youssef had given them everything. The police seized all of Hassan's assets: the penthouse apartment, the cars, the businesses, the bank accounts, everything. Hassan's wife Nadia found out the truth about what her husband had been doing for the past 10 years. She was devastated. She felt betrayed and lied to and humiliated. She filed for divorce and took their daughter and moved to France to live with her sister. She told Hassan she never wanted to see him again and she would make sure their daughter grew up never knowing who her father really was. Hassan's trial lasted 4 months. The prosecution painted him as a dangerous criminal who had poisoned his community for profit. Hassan's lawyer tried to argue that Hassan had provided for his family and employed people and contributed to the local economy, but none of that mattered because the facts were clear. Hassan Osman had broken the law extensively for 10 years. The judge sentenced Hassan to 25 years in prison. Hassan's mother visited him in prison 1 month after his sentencing. She sat across from him in the visiting room and she cried. She told him she wished she had never accepted his help all those years ago. She said she would rather have stayed poor and hungry if it meant her son was free. She told Hassan that his younger brothers and sisters were being bullied at school because everyone knew their brother was a drug dealer. She told him the family was ashamed. That was the last time Hassan saw his mother. She died of a heart attack 6 months later. Hassan was not allowed to attend her funeral. Hassan has now been in prison for 8 years. He has 17 years left on his sentence. His daughter Yasmin is 10 years old and she does not know her father exists. His wife Nadia remarried and moved to Canada. His father Ahmed closed the motorcycle shop and moved back to the village where Hassan grew up. Hassan's younger siblings all finished school and got regular jobs and changed their last name because they did not want to be associated with what Hassan did. Hassan sits in his prison cell and he thinks about that afternoon when he was 14 years old and he saw his little sister crying because she was hungry. He thinks about the choice he made that day, and he thinks about all the choices he made after that. Every delivery, every deal, every lie he told, every life he damaged by selling drugs to people who could not stop using them. Hassan says if he could go back, he would have stolen bread from the market instead of delivering drugs for his cousin. He says he would have rather gone to jail at 14 for stealing food than end up in jail at 31 for destroying lives. He says the worst part is not the 25-year sentence. The worst part is knowing that his daughter will grow up without a father, and his mother died ashamed of him and his wife built a new life with someone else, and his family changed their name to erase him. Hassan says he had so many chances to stop: after the first delivery, after the first year, after Karim went to prison, after his daughter was born, but each time he told himself 1 more year, 1 more deal, 1 more payday. He kept telling himself he was doing it for his family, but the truth was he was doing it for himself. He liked the money, he liked the power, he liked being the guy who solved everyone's problems, he liked feeling important. And now he has nothing, no money, no family, no future, just a prison cell and 17 more years of regret. There are thousands of young men right now standing where Hassan stood when he was 14. They are looking at their hungry families and their struggling parents and their limited options. They are being offered quick money and easy solutions. They are being told that selling drugs is not really that bad, that everyone does it, that you just have to be smart about it. But what Hassan learned too late is that there is no being smart about it. The door only swings one way. Once you step through, you cannot step back. The money is not worth it. The power is not worth it. Nothing is worth losing your family, your freedom, and your soul. Hassan says if he could talk to his 14-year-old self, he would tell that boy to let his sister go hungry for one more day while he found an honest way to help her. He would tell that boy to trust that hard work and patience would eventually provide for his family. He would tell that boy that poverty is temporary but prison is forever. But Hassan cannot talk to his 14-year-old self. That boy is gone. All that is left is a 39-year-old man sitting in a prison cell thinking about what could have been. This is not a story with a happy ending. This is not a story about redemption or second chances. This is a cautionary tale about how one decision made in desperation can lead to a lifetime of regret. Hassan Osman is not a monster, he is not evil, he is not unusual. He is a man who made a choice when he was young and scared and desperate. And that choice led to more choices, and those choices led to consequences, and those consequences destroyed everything. The lesson is not complicated. Crime does not pay, the fast money is not worth it. The easy path leads to a hard ending. You cannot build a good life on a bad foundation, and no matter how smart you think you are, eventually the truth catches up with you. Hassan wants young people to hear his story and learn from his mistakes. He wants them to know that the temporary relief of quick money is not worth the permanent pain of losing everything that matters. He wants them to choose differently than he did. Because once you walk through that door, you cannot walk back through it. Hassan learned that too late. Do not make the same mistake. The end.